Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward. This is the State Court of Clayton County. This is the jail arraignment calendar for cases that are inmates. We do not have a separate arraignment calendar this morning, and the date is September 9th, 2025, courtroom 304, Clayton County, Georgia. I'm going to call the calendar. If these individuals are represented by counsel, their attorneys will speak on their behalf. First name is Brian Patrick Alger.
Judge, we do wish to be appointed. I think he was previously represented by the Public Defender's Office. That is going to be a plea today.
All right. Next is Javon Eric Barnett. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 of the cases. Have we come to any resolution as we discussed in what we discussed in abeyance?
Your Honor, I still haven't heard from Attorney Watson Cafe. I sent an email to Attorney Watson Cafe this morning asking her to give me a call tomorrow with Mr. Lynch so we can get a full global and abeyance and get everything all situated.
All right. So, Mr. Lynch, if you're okay with that, we can send Mr. Barnett back and go ahead and convene tomorrow.
I am okay with that, Judge.
Okay.
I do want to request whether the court would consider doing one thing, though, just procedurally. So even though there are some concerns that we're trying to address, I've never...
You glitched. You said what now?
Even though there are some concerns that we're trying to address with what's been discussed, the remaining cases that I represent Mr. Barnett on, he has never officially entered a plea, and that's because he wasn't necessarily willing to. But if the court would be so inclined, I believe it is within the court's discretion to enter a not guilty plea on his behalf, just to move the cases further on the calendar. And I would request at this time if the court would do that, just so that the cases don't stay in this arraignment stage.
Okay. Any objections for the 4 cases where Mr. Barnett is represented by Lister Holton Dennis? Any objection from the state?
None whatsoever, Your Honor.
And Ms. Watson Cafe has already entered a not guilty, I believe, on her case.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I can't recall. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Lynch, but is Mr. Barnett in on any of your cases or just Ms. Watson Cafe's case?
I need to double check. I think well,
if he's only, Your Honor, if he's in on multiple cases, state would be fine with a complete UJR on Watson Cafe's case, just so we can get him moving, and then we'll and then I can work out the abeyance order with Mr. Lynch. Well, I mean, I can work out the UJR with Mr. Lynch to where he goes in and begins his abeyance.
I think he is in on one of our cases.
All right. So whatever y'all work out, send me what you consent to or what is on the table, and we can talk about it, even if I have to join in on a Zoom or anything.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
No problem. All right. So next on the calendar, Deputy Mr. Barnett can go back. Next on the calendar, I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am. I'm clear.
Okay. Lance Levester Brown.
Yes, Your Honor. Attorney Tortorella, Lister Holton Dennis, Mr. Brown, all 3 of his cases will be a global plea offer that he's accepting.
Okay. Mr. Tipton, Alger is still charged with burglary. Are y'all going to amend that accusation?
Your Honor, we have amended it. We have to go through IT to get it amended. It may still be showing up on the calendar as a burglary, but he is booked in under criminal trespass.
All right, that works. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Jarvis Montel Cheney.
Judge, we are going to enter a not guilty plea for Mr. Cheney.
All right, so please remind Mr. Cheney of his bond conditions. If he doesn't have them, he can pick them up downstairs.
Judge, he's in custody. This is a jail incident.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and enter his not guilty plea, and he can go back down. All right. We have a petition for Mr. Eubanks, Johnny Eubanks.
Judge, we were informed by the jail, that that he could not be brought up due to some,
All right, so we'll
Sanitary
reset for 1 week. All right, Mr. Carmichael, we'll reset Eubanks for 1 week, okay?
Yes, Your Honor, that'll be next Tuesday, right?
Yes. Jermaine
Understood.
Bernard Foster,
Judge, it's a probation matter. We are going to stipulate. Yes, and accept.
all right, thank you. And
right.
next is, Homson Bath, Michael Andrew Homson Bath.
Judge, we are going to enter a not guilty plea on that case. He's been sitting in Clayton County Jail for almost the past 5 years, so we might as well give him a trial down in state court while he waits for his superior court cases to resolve.
Okay, wow. That's not a credit for time served and move him on?
Well, Judge, it actually would be, but he did indicate he wanted to exercise his right to a trial on this one.
And I'm for that. Okay, so not guilty for Mr. Homson Bath. And
And Your Honor, I was curious, Mr. Homsenbath, like Mr. Lynch said, has been sitting in jail for some time. Would it be possible for Your Honor to reach out to the public defender's office in Superior Court to see if they can get him on a calendar? Because the state has great concerns about his rights being violated.
okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
all right. All right, next is DeMarcio Purcell.
Yes, Your Honor, that's a negotiated plea today.
All right, sounds good.
I'm sorry. Where did this thought originate? No, I said that he was not here yet. I'm just messing with him. It's fine.
All right. All right, Jason Lynn Smiley. Jason Lynn Smiley.
Likely we can resolve, Judge, but we haven't talked to him because he just got here.
All right, so y'all can talk to, we put them down for a conference. Next is Michael Javon Washington.
Judge, that's gonna be a plea today, excuse me.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get these pleas taken care of, and then you all can talk to whoever is left. So you can bring up Alger.
Sure. Did you want to? Yeah, go ahead and bring out Alger. And I was gonna say we can do Foster next. I think that's the only probation case.
Okay, let's do Foster then. I'm fine with that.
You may already be pulling Alger's, but
Either one, then we'll do Foster next.
we're gonna do Foster next. Come on.
Is this Mr. Alger?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Brian Patrick Alger, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. Sir, you're before the court. What's the amended charge? Because I still have burglary on mine.
They got me for,
Not you, sir.
oh, I'm sorry.
Your Honor, it's criminal trespass. For the, so the court's aware, we sent it up on 5/16/2025 because the warrant was taken out for burglary.
I
They
got
sent-
you.
And they sent it back down as criminal trespass. However, there were issues with CPU 8. If it's reading as burglary, it's actually supposed to be criminal trespass. We've gone through IT and they've assured us that it should show up on its criminal record as criminal trespass.
All right, that works. Thank you. All right, so Mr. Alger, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hands down. You're before the court on criminal trespass, count 1, obstruction of an officer, count 2, and giving a false name, address, or date of birth, count 3. You're represented by attorney Owen Lynch, who's with the law firm of Lister, Holt, and Dennis. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Judge, he's going to plead guilty to count 1 criminal trespass and guilty to count 3 giving a false name. The obstruction charge is going to be null pros pursuant to plea negotiations.
All right, so Mr. Alger, by entering a plea of guilty to count 1 and count 3, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I got to hear you, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On April 14th of 2025, officers with the Clayton County Police Department responded to 499 Queen Elise, that's ALIESE Lane in Jonesboro, Georgia, where it was determined that the defendant before you, Mr. Algers, did enter the property through a window that was opened on the property. When the officer stopped and attempted to make contact with him, he gave the false name of William Lawler. I'm sorry, gave the false name of Billy Alger, excuse me, and A. Benton. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. State's recommendation for count 1 is 12 months, served 180 days, credit for time served, balance suspended upon do not return to the incident location, and no contact with the victim, which is Mr. William Lawler. That's LAWLER. And the obstruction's been null prossed, and the false information will be a suspended fine of $200.
Judge, you're muted.
Mr. Lynch?
Oh, I was just saying you're muted, but I don't, oh, Your Honor, we're going to ask the court to accept the plea at this time. We have discussed his right to a trial, and he wishes to resolve his case in this manner.
All right, so Mr. Alger, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty to counts 1 and 3. I'll sentence you on count 1 to 12 months to serve 180 days. Credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to the stated subject address and incident address, and also that you do not have any contact with William Lawler for the remainder of the sentence. Also, count 3 will run concurrent with count 1. It's a $200 fine suspended.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, go and be better, Mr. Alger.
I just won't argue with my dad anymore and get kicked out of the house.
Okay, that's a plan. That is a solid plan. All right, take care, sir.
Thank you. They're going to take you back. Foster, please.
You don't have to talk to me if you don't want to. You talk to me, then We are asking that you honor our last contact that he not return the incident. Okay? Do you have any questions about that? So,
Mr. Foster?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so this is State of Georgia versus Jermaine Bernard Foster, 2021 CR 08270. Mr. Foster, you're before the court for a petition for revocation of probation. You're represented by Attorney Owen Lynch, who's with you at the podium. You are before this court for reckless driving on the 21st day of July 2025. You were sentenced to 12 months on probation with special conditions. You have 10 months and 11 days remaining. Your sentence was not told, and you have tested positive for alcohol and the metabolites of alcohol on August 1st, 2025. You also failed to document proof of completing a clinical evaluation as the court ordered. What's going on with your client, Mr. Lynch?
So Judge, my understanding is that he did complete the clinical evaluation. He tells me he had the proof of that with him when he went into custody for the test. So I know he'll be able to provide that proof to the probation office upon release. As far as the positive test for alcohol, Judge, he does acknowledge that he consumed alcohol. He initially indicated to me that he disclosed to consuming alcohol before the sentence, but
Did not. I see the paperwork.
but
It says-
may have actually consumed alcohol after the sentence, but he hasn't consumed since the alcohol consumption that violates his probation in this manner. We are going to ask the court to accept the recommendation from the probation office.
Oh, okay. Ms. Chang?
Good morning, Your Honor. Probation recommends that 13 days be revoked, return to probation, test at each report, attend one community support meeting per week.
All right. Mr. Foster, let's talk. So, Mr. Foster, this is the example I use. If somebody told me I couldn't, have a chocolate milkshake for 12 months or else I'd go to jail, I'd avoid chocolate milkshakes like they were the plague, even though I love chocolate. So if you're willing to risk going to jail to have a drink and we're going to test, that tells me that you have a problem with alcohol. Now, when I tell people that, most of the time people are resistant. They'll say, oh, no, Judge, I don't have a problem with alcohol. I'm good. But let's look at what got you here. You're here on a reckless. You're in an orange jumpsuit for the second time since July that I know of, but you came in through, magistrate court, so I'm sure you got arrested and came in through the jail system that way. Sir, alcohol keeps ending you up here before judges. You're losing time with your family. You're losing time away from your home. You're losing time away from a job if you have one. And I don't know that the Clayton County Jail is where I would want to be every day. So you're losing your independence. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, I did consume one beer. I did. And I know I was exposed to, Your Honor, but it won't happen again, Your Honor.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Now, in order to move forward, if you have an addiction issue, you got to acknowledge that you got it. Because if you mess up, you'll say to yourself, oh, well, I just messed up, but I'm going to get back on track and I can do this by myself. But if it is a situation where the possibility exists that you could go back to jail and you still drank, then that tells me that there's a little bit of powerlessness over what you have going on. We're going to do some things to try and get you back on track, okay? But it doesn't work unless you're willing to do the work. Now, I'm going to accept your acknowledgement that you've had the alcohol in violation of the court's orders, I'm going to accept Ms. Chang's recommendation, and your attorney has agreed to this, that you'll be revoked for 13 days and receive credit for time served. You'll return to probation. You're going to provide proof of having done your substance abuse evaluation, your clinical evaluation. You'll present proof of that
I do
within,
have-
okay. At your first report after you leave jail, you'll present proof of your clinical evaluation. You're also going to test at each report. And you're going to go to one community support meeting per week for the cessation of addiction. Now, some community support group could be something like Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, some kind of addiction stopping group. You got me? Did you have anything else, Mr. Lynch?
Nothing at this time, Judge.
He's already served the 13 days.
Yes, Judge. I think August 27th, that makes, I think 13 days today.
All right, so also you'll continue to all of the other special conditions of probation, Mr. Foster, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, if I may give him his next appointment.
Please do, ma'am.
Mr. Foster, you need to report to probation in person this Thursday, September 11th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Chang, I sent it over.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am, you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Mr. Foster, we need you to be mindful, sir. Be mindful. Map out a plan in your head of how you're gonna stay away from those people and those influences that would cause you to drink. before you get back out there on the street, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, take care, Mr. Foster.
Can I ask you one thing, Judge?
Sure.
Your Honor, but I stay like about 45 to 50 minutes away from here.
Yes,
And I was asking, is it possible that I can get my probation transferred to the Cobb County?
I can't change to another county. We don't share like that. Okay. MARTA bus comes right here. Are you working?
Yes, ma'am. I work off of Jimmy Carter Boulevard in Norcross, Georgia. So it takes me like, when I have to come see Miss Chang, I work from 6 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So it takes me like a little bit over an hour to get here when I'm at work and I have to come see her. So that's why I was asking.
Where do you work?
I work at Easy Stones, Easy Services out on Jimmy Carter Boulevard. It's called Easy Stones. And the address is 6080 North Bell Drive, Norcross, Georgia, 30071.
Well, Mr. Foster, here's the thing. So sometimes I do phone and mail report, but you can't show up having tested positive for drugs if I'm gonna do that for you. You got to be clean for a while for me to accommodate you.
So what are we saying? Like, how many tests can I provide that's negative to you in order to get that done?
I'm not sure. Let me talk about it with Mr. Lynch and Ms. Chang. But it's gonna have to be a few, sir.
That's fine, Miss Haywood. That's fine.
All right. So just Ms. Chang is gonna talk to me about it and remind me that I said we could do that if you keep coming up clean for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. That's incentive.
All right. Will I be released today, ma'am?
As far as I know, I don't have anything else holding you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Take care, sir.
You too, ma'am. Thank you
And
so
Mr.
much.
Foster,
Yes, ma'am.
I know if you have an addiction issue, it is hard. I know that. I'm not saying that it's easy to not go back to the habits that you've always had or that you've had recently. But what I'm saying to you is try and in the community support meetings, the programs, the clinical evaluation, try and find some things that will help you to move forward without relying on alcohol. Okay.
Your Honor, my family is more important to me than alcohol.
Good. Good, good, good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Who's next?
Your Honor, if I may, I have an announcement.
Yes, ma'am.
On Smiley's case, that will be a negotiated plea today.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So we have left the global pleas for Brown, the plea for Purcell, the plea for Smiley, and the plea for Washington. I don't care what order you give them to me in. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Your Honor, may we
Yes.
take the plea for Purcell? The victim is present.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah. Maybe we should let, they bring the inmates over here.
I mean, what's that deputy? She said she's cool with it. I'm cool with it. I'd rather get here early.
Yeah, me too. Did I drop off my son?
Also, you have an hour and a half to talk to people. I think she said that she's cool with it because she's here to do it. So, and I think they bring the inmates up early anyway.
Yeah.
You ready? Oh, y'all let me know.
Yes, Your Honor, they're bringing him out.
All right. And this is Mr. Purcell.
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand for me, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Mr. Purcell, you're before the court on State of Georgia versus DeMarcio Purcell, 2025 CR 08180 for battery, count 1, simple battery, count 2, criminal trespass, count 3. What is your client plead to the offenses before the court, Ms. Tortorello?
Yes, Your Honor, for the battery charge, it would be a guilty plea. I understand simple battery will be merged, and for criminal trespass, that will be a nolo.
All right, sir. By entering a plea of guilty to count 1 and nolo to count 2, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to present evidence and testimony on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On March 14th of 2025, officers of the Clayton County Police Department responded to 7062 Vesta, that's VESTA Way in Jonesboro, here in Clayton County. It was determined that the defendant before you, Mr. DeMarco Purcell, got into an argument with the named victim in this case, Miss Nora, Nora Torres, Torres, whereby after an argument, he bit her, attempted to choke her, and after being forced out of the car by her, smashed her windshield. Your Honor, the state's recommendation in this case for count 1 is 12 months to serve 24 days, balance probated, anger management, no violent or harassing contact with Ms. Torres, do not return to the incident location. Count 2 will merge into count 1. Count 3, which is based on the damage to the windshield, will be a consecutive 12 months suspended. Do not return, no violent or harassing contact with Ms. Torres. Ms.
Why are
Torres,
we asking for no violent or harassing?
she has requested contact, Your Honor. She is present in the courtroom.
Yes, my wife.
They're married, Your Honor.
We were drunk. It was. Sorry.
Okay, because his charge is battery, not battery family violence. I didn't know that there was a connection, but if y'all are fine with it, the effect is the same.
Your Honor, I just found out that they were married.
Your Honor, we just have taken a plea, so for the record,
For the record, what?
just for the record, I just want to say, he's already taken the plea to battery, and it's just
And,
only fair to move forward with this, Your Honor.
and Your Honor has yet to accept the plea.
Let me hear from Ms. Torres. Because, yeah, I was thinking that these were unassociated individuals. Raise your right hand for me, ma'am. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, lay your hand down. Tell me your first and last name.
Nora Torres.
All right, Ms. Torres, how do you know Mr. Purcell?
We've known each other since kids. We went to church together. And as we grew up, we became a couple. We entered into a relationship and we got married.
Okay. How long you all been married?
We've been together for a year.
Okay. So I'm surprised based on the factual basis that you're asking for contact with Mr. Purcell. What's going on?
So that night of the incident, we were both drunk. We were both telling each other, like, accusing, like, we were telling each other we were cheating on each other, basically. So we both went through each other's phones and found out that we were both cheating. Well, like, you know, entertaining other people. So it went from there.
All right. So Ms. Torres and Mr. Purcell, if you're listening, personal interactions are complex and they're difficult. But the one thing is, I don't understand why people get married to have to go through each other's phones and have to accuse each other of cheating. When you have gotten to the point where you feel like you need to go through somebody's phone, you might as well walk away because the trust in your relationship is gone. The fact that y'all have known each other since kids and grew up together and went to church together, there should be some level of trust that nothing can shake, but y'all don't have that. How is it y'all have known each other for 20 years and you still don't trust each other? And then all it takes is some alcohol to make you all fight each other to the point of pushing people out of cars and getting scratched up and all of that. That's ridiculous. If y'all are committed to being in a marriage, y'all got to work on it. But the one thing you can't do is be in a marriage and claim you love each other and y'all don't trust each other. Because y'all might as well walk away now. I'm just going to tell you. You go up here saying, I want to have contact with him. I love him. And I'm sure Mr. Purcell is saying the same thing. That's my wife. I love her. But if you can't trust each other, if you get to, I have never felt like I needed to look through my husband's phone. We've been together 16 years. At the point that I feel like I got to stalk him, well, I'm wasting my time. I don't have time to make some grown man be accountable to me if he's not willing to do that himself.
You're right.
And if you've been with him as long as since you were kids and y'all still can't, and he still can't trust you and you still can't trust him, walk away because y'all will be back here. All it will take is some alcohol for y'all to start this foolishness up again. Mr. Purcell, I'm talking to you more than I'm talking to her, but it is the same. Y'all want to be in this relationship. You want me to say, oh, well, he can get out and have contact with her, but the effect is the same. What I try to do is tell people don't come back here. Make the changes necessary so you don't come back here. Do you all have kids?
Not yet.
Don't have any right now. Are you pregnant?
No.
No, because that most of the time when people say, well, not yet, but in 6 months, they care clearly about what you're doing. If y'all intend to bring children into this relationship, this is not the relationship children should be in. There needs to be a radical change.
Your
A
Honor,
radical. Yes.
if I may, so Ms. Torres, I just want to understand, were you guys ever legally married?
No, but we live together.
Mr. Tipton, at this point, I'm not invested in changing the charge. I'm fine with what it is, but I'm more invested in changing the way they are looking at this relationship. Now, number one. Number two, you living together. You just told me several disparate things. We met in church. Y'all must not still be in church because y'all are living together, but you're not married. I don't understand all that. That's for y'all to figure. Don't explain it to me. But what I'm saying is y'all need to be consistent on what this relationship is. Y'all need to be consistent on what kind of commitment y'all are willing to make to each other. Mr. Purcell, do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Y'all need to be consistent because this type of foolishness here, y'all don't need to be in front of me. You either need to be in counseling to determine if this is a viable relationship, or y'all need to just walk away from each other and be friends who've known each other since kids. And that's okay too. Love each other as friends, be in each other's lives as friends, support each other as friends, be happy for each other when you each find your person. But please don't come up back in here with this going through the phone foolishness.
Okay.
At the thought that you think he's cheating on you, he might as well be, because you believe it. And somewhere in the back of your head, until you do the work, it's always going to be there. Same with you, Mr. Purcell. At the thought that you think after knowing her since she was a kid, and you could literally be in a car with her and y'all beating each other down. You beating her down. She's got to push you out of the car because y'all think y'all are cheating. Where's the 20 years been that y'all have gotten to know each other since kids? That just went out the window. Y'all need to really seriously think. Don't fall back into the pattern of we've been together so long, we just need to go back together. Don't do that. Examine your relationship and get it right before this happens again. And before y'all bring any children into this relationship. Because this doesn't make any sense to me. All right? They said, after I'm hearing the factual basis, they said, well, you want to have want to have contact with him in a no violent or harassing nature. Yeah, I have an issue. And the anger management, now that I'm looking at this, Mr. Tipton, does Mr. Purcell have a record and some history that I should know about?
One moment, Your Honor.
Can I step away? Can I step away, Your Honor?
Yes, you may. How old are you, Mr. Purcell?
Excuse me, ma'am?
How old are you?
29.
What are you doing with your life, sir?
Ma'am, I really want an opportunity. Like, I totally understand I've screwed
No,
up.
no. Don't beg. I asked you a question. What are you doing with your life? Where are you working?
I work as a truck driver. I got incarcerated in New Mexico because I was driving trucks. I do box trucks. I do furniture moving, upscale.
Okay. All right. Well, also, you're going to have to get yourself together so that you're not in somebody's jail uniform.
Please, ma'am.
You got to stop doing that. I don't want to know what happened in New Mexico, Arizona. I don't know. I don't care. But what I'm saying to you is where you are is your choice. You're choosing certain behaviors. And when you're doing those behaviors, these are the results. So you got to start thinking about what kind of life you want to live. Do you want to live a life of chaos where I'm back and forth, me and the wife or the girlfriend are fighting because we can't, and stop calling yourself a wife if y'all ain't married. That's some foolishness. But this whole back and forth, we can't trust each other. We got to look at each other's phones. It's ridiculous.
Your Honor,
If you commit to be together, commit to be together. Otherwise, walk away. Why are you wasting each other's time? All right, Mr. Tipton, tell me what I need to know.
So, Your Honor, it appears that most of his concerning stuff has been dismissed, but he does have what looks to be a pending aggravated assault and criminal damage to property in the second degree.
Okay, Miss, you can take it or leave it, Miss Tortorello, but instead of anger management, I would require FVIP.
Yes, ma'am. What is it, VIP?
It's the Family Violence Intervention Program. It's a 24-week class. If you miss more than 3 classes, then you're gonna have to restart. You don't have time to restart, so you need to be consistent in taking the classes. If it's a situation where you need to work while you're taking the classes, you might find out if there's one that's a video class. I don't know if they have one, but they might. But please make sure that you do what I require, which is the Family Violence Intervention Program. So on count 1, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty, sentence you to 12 months to serve 24 days, credit for time served. Balance will be probated for you to take the Family Violence Intervention Program class and have no violent or harassing contact with Nora Torres, and you cannot go back to 7062 Vesta Way, Jonesboro, Georgia. Who lives there?
Us.
I'm sorry?
Us.
Well, if it's no violent or harassing contact, Mr. Tipton, shouldn't he be able to go back to the house?
Please.
Your Honor, I'm fine with that, but I was
okay. So you could go back to the house. It's just no violent or harassing contact with Ms. Torres. Count 2 will merge, and count 3 is a NOLO plea, 12 months suspended, as long as you do not go back, as long as you do not have any violent or harassing contact with Ms. Torres. All right. Now, remember what I said, Mr. Purcell and Ms. Torres. First of all, stop playing house. If you want to be married, that's an intentional commitment. And if you're going to make such an intentional commitment, do the work before you get into this, where you, Mr. Purcell, are not in and out of jail, and you, Mrs. Purcell, are not accepting his bad behavior and committing bad behavior of your own. All of this looking through people's phones and foolishness. If y'all are committed to each other, be committed to each other. Otherwise, walk away and stop wasting time.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. You can go back with the sheriff's office. All right. We have Brown, Smiley, and Washington.
Yeah. Can you bring out Ace Brown, please?
All right, very bad. Good morning. Who's this, Mr. Smiley?
No, this is Mr. Lance Brown, Your Honor.
All
Before
right,
you-
Mr. Brown, you've been busy. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Mr. Brown, you're here on a lot of stuff. Case 2024 CR 10100 for DUI less safe. Miss Tortorella, what does he plead to that offense?
That will be a guilty plea, Your Honor.
All right, and on case 2025 CR 08026, battery family violence count 1, battery count 2, simple battery family violence count 3, simple battery count 4, battery family violence count 5, simple battery count 6. Battery count family violence count 5, battery count 6, simple battery family violence count 7, and simple battery count 8. Ms. Tortorella, what is your client plead to the offenses on case 2025 CR 08026?
Yes, Your Honor. For count 1, battery family violence, that will be a guilty plea. Counts 2, 3, and 4 will merge into that count. And then for count 5, Your Honor, that'll be another guilty plea for battery family violence. And count 6, 7, and 8 will merge.
All right. And on the third case, 2025 CR 08027, highway violation. What is your client plead?
Yes, Your Honor. My understanding is that case will be dismissed. That's part of the global plea offer.
All right, so that will be no prost. All right, so by internal plea of guilty to count 1, the only count on 2024 CR 10100, and entering a plea of guilty to counts 1 and 5 on case 2025 CR 08026. Counts 2, 3, and 4 will merge with count 1. Counts 6, 7, and 8 will merge with count 5. Case 2025 CR 08027 will be no pros. By entering these pleas of guilty, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. With regard to case ending in 10100, On September 14th of 2023, officers with the Forest Park Police Department responded to 260 Main Street in reference to an accident with injuries. There they made contact with the driver, Mr. Lance Brown. When they made contact with Mr. Brown, he gave several indicators of being under the influence of an intoxicant, including saying that he'd had a couple beers, and the odor of alcohol emanating from his breath and person, and his eyes were extremely glossy. Based on the observations that were made by the officers, it was concluded that he was driving under the influence to the extent that it was less safe for him to do so. State's recommendation in this case, Your Honor, is 12 months to serve 26 days, credit for time served, balance probated, a DUI risk reduction course, no drugs or alcohol, subject to random testing, substance abuse evaluation, and any recommended treatment, 40 hours of community service, and a $300 fine. This is a first and 10 DUI. This will run concurrent with case ending in 08026. Your Honor, the facts of that case are that on August 13th of 2023, officers with the Forest Park Police Department responded to 4552 Old Dixie Road, specifically room 308, which is the home lodge, in reference to a domestic disturbance. There they spoke with the victim, Miss Kate, K-A-T-E, Brown, common spelling, who stated that her husband had been in an argument with her that became physical. It was determined that the defendant before you, Mr. Brown, did push Miss Brown during the physical altercation, leaving abrasions on her neck area. Further, Your Honor, he did struck her on or about the forehead, leaving a bruise on her forehead. State's recommendation in this case, Your Honor, is for count 1, 12 months served, 26 days, credit for time served, balance probated, family violence intervention program, $500 fine, no violent or harassing contact with the victim. Counts 2, 3, 4 will merge into count 1. Count 5 will be an additional suspended fine of $500. Counts 6, 7, and 8 will merge into count 5. Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Brown, something was going on in the fall of 2023, summer and fall, late summer, early fall of 2023. What was going on, sir?
Just going through a lot. Mine wasn't in the right place. We were homeless for a while.
Okay.
Didn't
So
have- Yeah.
you've been in here for a minute. What does that mean for the stability of what you got going on now? Because I see there's no violent or harassing contact, which means Ms. Brown has requested to have contact with you. What is going on now that is going to make you more stable than you were at that time?
Well, now I asked for nobody to bail me out because I needed to be in here to detox for myself because I had 2 different car accidents within the last year. Tomorrow morning, I'm supposed to go get more shots in my hip for my workman's comp case.
What were you doing when you got the workers' comp injury?
I was working for Advanced Auto Parts. I was a delivery driver. I was in the hit and run from behind.
And you've been suffering with that for a minute?
Yes, since a whole year now.
Okay. Was that before or after this happened?
This was last September.
2024?
Yes, ma'am.
So what led you to be in the extreme position you were in 2023?
Just bad place and space in my head, Your Honor. I'm just trying to figure things out for me and my wife and kids.
How many kids do you have?
We have 3 together, 9, 11, and 12.
Are you able to work, physically able to work?
I have to see what's going on with my workman's comp, but the doctor had cleared me, so I'm really looking for a part-time job. But I have to see what's going on with my workman's comp because I have John Floyd and Associates for 2 accidents and my workman's comp.
Okay, so you said you were looking for a part-time job. Why part-time?
Well, I have to see what's going on with my workman's comp before I can do anything. I've been in here, so I wasn't able to talk to my lawyers. So I
Okay,
don't know if I am able, if I'm cleared or to go back full-time, or if I'm not clear because I haven't been able to talk to
okay,
you.
I got you. Cause see, this what I'm kind of getting to is the financial stress. Um, if there's not a path to see your way clear through that, you're gonna be right back here. And
No,
your kids deserve to have that stability. And I understand that people go through hard times. Trust me. I understand that. But you got to have a mindset of, okay, so I'm waiting on this stuff to come through or to have word. But I've been in practicing law in the legal community for a long time. And the things take a long time to settle out. Anything civil, um, car accident suits, workers' comp, those can take a while for you to actually see any money in compensation for your injuries. What I'm saying to you is you can't just say, well, I'm just going to wait until I get that and then I'll make everything up. You got to have a plan in your head for what is going to happen with you and your wife and those 3 kids who are dependent on y'all.
yes, ma'am.
You can't just say, well, I got a settlement coming. Oh, we love a settlement. But until that settlement comes, we got to do something. We got to make sure that we're not back in a situation where babies are homeless because they don't deserve that.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not sure what your wife is doing to work, but if she's been trying to hold down the family and, take care of the kids while you've been in jail, y'all are gonna have to work through that too. Because you made choices that put you in jail and took you out of the income stream while she's been having to hold down the fort.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not necessarily fussing at you, but I want you to have some mindfulness about what is going to happen when you get out, because these obligations are steep. When I say to you that on the first case, 2024 CR 10100, I am sentencing you to 12 months to serve 26 days, credit for time served. The balance will be probated. Well, there's a $50 per month probation fee, $50 or $52, one of them. Then a risk reduction course. That's going to cost. I don't know what the price is. They have different courses, but you're going to have to pay for that. No alcohol or illicit drugs during the course of your probation. If you test positive for alcohol, I will sign an arrest warrant and you and I will have a conversation and you'll be back here. But you'll probably be in jail before you and I have that conversation on that arrest warrant. You're subject to random screens. So we're going to test you. And if you come up dirty, we're going to have a different kind of conversation. You're going to take a substance abuse evaluation. That costs. If they order you to take any treatment, that costs. 40 hours of community service, that's going to cost you your time. And you need to make sure that you can do it. If you're not able to do the community service, then you need to provide something from a doctor that says you can't do it. I'm not just going to excuse you because you had an accident. And then a $300 fine, which is going to be closer to, it's a DUI enhancement. So this is probably going to be closer to $600 or $700 because of the surcharges. Then you're going to have another set of responsibilities for case 2025 CR 08026. You're entering a guilty plea to count 1 and count 5. On count 1, it's 12 months to serve 26 days to run concurrent with the case 2024 CR 10100. You will also be on probation to take a family violence intervention program class. That is 24 classes. And if you mess up, they will to make you start over again. If you miss more than 3 or you're late for 3, they will make you start over again. That is going to be a $500 fine. That's going to be $737.50 with the surcharges. So, and you're to have no violent or harassing contact with Miss Kate Brown. And on count 5, which will run concurrent with count 1, it's a $500 fine suspended, which means that if you mess up, I can bring back that other $500 fine. which you currently won't have to pay as long as you're doing what you need to do. So when I tell you, you need to have a plan, because it's going to come at you fast. And, you know, I'm sure Ms. Tortorello has explained to you to the best of her ability, but most people listen through the ears of, I just want to get out of jail. They don't hear me though, when I'm telling you that probation is difficult. And if you, what got you in here is financial stressors, you about to see a whole new world of financial stressors. You have got to have a plan. How old are you, sir?
49.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. And I hate to say it, because of ageism, you're getting to that point where it's going to be harder and harder to find jobs, especially that will accommodate if you have any long-term injuries.
Your Honor, can I have a quick word with my client?
Yeah, sure.
Your Honor, may I please the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I just spoke to the state and the state is consenting to this. Proposing that count 5 be consecutive, 12 months of probation on the case ending in 08026, and that it will terminate upon him completing all of his requirements. That way he will have time to complete all of these requirements so that he may be successful in probation.
That works. I'll deal with it. I'll take it.
No objection from the state.
And so I'll even do this. I'll even waive supervision fees for the first 3 months.
You heard that?
Yes, I'm just trying to understand it all.
Okay. See, that's why I like to break it all down, because it's hard. I know the defense attorneys do a lot, but they have all these rights and things they got to tell you about. It is hard for them to kind of break down every aspect of it. So I feel like that's my job. So when I say I'm going to suspend the supervision fees for the first 3 months, so that $50 fee that you would have to pay to probation for your supervision for the first 3 months, you're not going to have to pay that. Let me give you some time to see what your financial situation is. And mainly that's because you got a woman out there who's been trying to raise 3 kids without the income or help of the person who's supposed to be helping her. Now that's on you. You're gonna have to deal with that. You owe her an apology for this foolishness.
I do.
I mean, for all the battery stuff, you letting your frustrations get the better of you instead of walking out and taking a walk around the block, for the stuff that I know some of it was caused by injuries, but if she's dependent on you to be the man in that house and to make sure that you hold up your end, then you can't take it out on her when you get frustrated. That's when y'all should stand together and start strategizing and figuring out, how can we make it through this? What do each of us need to do or sacrifice to make it through this until we can get to better? You hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm willing to do that. I'll modify the sentence on case 2025 CR 08026 to the 12 months on count 1, 26 days credit for time served, balance probated, to take a family violence intervention program course, and a $500 fine, no violent or harassing contact. Count 5 will run consecutive to count 1 for 512 months and a $500 fine suspended. And upon completion of all of the special conditions, of the case in 2024 CR 10100 and the case 2025 CR 08026. Then upon all completion of all of those special conditions, the consecutive probation on count 5 can terminate. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
It's gonna be a rough road, Mr. Brown, but remember, stay the course, and you and your wife are gonna have to work together to make this work.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Go ahead, do Washington. And then Smiley.
All right, so we got Washington and then Smiley?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Come stand right next to me, Mr. Washington.
Mr. Washington,
Yeah,
raise your right hand for me, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
ma'am.
All right, Mr. Washington, put your hand down for me. All right, you're before the court on 2025 CR 08156 for criminal trespass. You're represented by Mr. Owen Lynch. He's right there with you in the courtroom. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
No contest, Judge.
Concerns?
Judge, I've spoken to Mr. Washington. I do believe he understands the process to the extent necessary to enter a plea, and I do believe he has a solid place to go when he gets out of here.
All right, so by entering a plea of nolo, Mr. Washington, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On August 19th of 2025, the defendant before you, Mr. Michael Washington, did enter upon the premises of the Sit-Go Food Mart located at 6629 Mount Zion Boulevard in Morrow here in Clayton County. The defendant then went to the aisles of the food mart and consumed several food and beverage items. Officers were called. It was determined that the defendant had previously been criminally trespassed from that location and had been asked not to leave, not to return. The state and neither the state nor the victim business in this case were interested in prosecuting for the products that were consumed. However, the fact that the criminal trespass warning was violated is what we are proceeding on. Your Honor, state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 21 days, balance suspended upon do not return to that gas station.
All right. So, Mr. Washington, I'm going to accept your plea. I'll send you to 12 months, 21 days, credit for time served. Balance will be suspended. Do not go back to the Sit-Go. Food Mart at 6629 Mount Zion Road in Morrow. Do you understand?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right. Okay, take care of yourself, Mr. Washington.
Yeah, ma'am.
All right. Next is Smiley.
Mr. Lynch, I think you dropped this pen here. I just didn't want to. That makes sense. We got a whole case now.
I think that's mine, that Mr. Lynch completed.
Oh, my apologies, Mr. Morello. I was assuming.
If I did take it from you, I took it from you days ago, because this was in my car this morning. And these are the Lister and Holt did his pen, so I also did take it from you. I don't feel that bad about it. But if I have to.
It's a gift.
Understood. Ms. Tornello was the one who was trying to get pens to her clients to take back to the jail.
Oh, yeah.
You okay, Mr. Lynch? You look tired.
Oh, this one, very funny.
We got two children under the age of what?
One of them is, we got lucky. The first one, like, slept through the.
Everybody has children.
Your Honor, Mr. Jason Smiley standing before you.
Mr. Smiley, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Jason Lynn Smiley, 2025 CR 07980 for criminal trespass, count 1, obstruction of an officer, count 2, drug objects, count 3. You're represented by Attorney Tortorello, who's with you at the podium. Ms. Tortorello, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Yes, Your Honor, for criminal trespass, there'll be a nolo plea as well as count 3 drug objects. My understanding is count 2 will be dismissed.
All right, so Mr. Smiley, by entering a plea of nolo to counts 1 and 3, count 2 will be no pros. You give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself, and if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On July 23rd of 2025, officers of the Clayton County Police Department were patrolling the area of Jester Lake Drive and Connell Drive, located in Jonesboro and Clayton County. When they had occasion to go to 7622 Connell Drive, it was determined that the defendant before you, Mr. Smiley, had entered into the premises of 7622 Connell Drive, which is the property of Miss Melissa Draper, Melissa common spelling, Draper, D-R-A-P-E-R, without her permission. And while he was there, he did have in his possession a glass pipe commonly used for introducing crack cocaine into the body. The state is dismissing the obstruction of officer charge per plea negotiations. Count 2, that's count 2. Count 1 is 12 months to serve 34 days. Credit for time served, balance suspended upon do not return to the incident location. And once again, that is 76 22 Connell, Connell Drive in Jonesboro, here in Clayton County. And no contact with the victim. Again, that's Melissa, common spelling, Draper, Draper. Count 3 will be a suspended fine of $200.
All right, Ms. Tortorella,
Yes, Your Honor, only that you accept the plea as negotiated.
how does Mr. Smiley know Ms. Draper?
My understanding, Your Honor, is that they don't know each other.
Okay, so Mr. Smiley, sir, I'm going to accept your plea of no load to counts 1 and count 3. 12 months on count 1 to serve 34 days, credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to 7622 Connell Drive in Jonesboro, and that you have no contact. That means absolutely no contact through a third party, directly, social media, any of that, with Melissa Draper, and that you violate no new laws of the state of Georgia. And on count 3, $200 fine will be suspended. That will run concurrent with count 1. Mr. Smiley, how old are you?
I'm 35 years old now.
Are you addicted to any particular substance?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Smiley, some would belie that because you're in somebody's house. Allegedly, you don't know this person. And tell me.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I never crossed the threshold or entered the premises. We were actually sitting outside because the police had just came, and so we sat down outside. I was actually there with a friend that was there.
Okay, well, be very, very careful when you're on other people's property.
Yes, ma'am.
People are real sensitive, and everybody got a gun.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I know to be true, just sitting here doing this job every day. You don't want to put yourself in a situation. You got me?
No, I absolutely understand.
Are you working, sir?
Currently not right now because I have a felony and I'm not able to work in the field that I went to college.
What field did you work in?
I'm an audio engineer. I have a master's degree in audio engineering.
Dude. Okay. But you can't work because of the felony.
Yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard working with like major studios because of the background check. They kind of don't want people with like.
I'm clear on the difficulties.
I would have to go on the business.
Look, this is Atlanta. We got an independent film industry. We got an independent music industry. We got people who may have the same type of background issues that you have. Put out your feelers. There's this thing called Gig Masters. It's a website.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Okay, get your stuff out there. You need to work, and you need to be doing something all day, every day. You don't need to waste time. And so get your stuff on good Gig Masters, go on Facebook, become part of like the audio engineers or musicians community, and start finding you some work, sir. You understand?
No,
All right. Because we have not, because we ask not, and we don't do the work. It's not just asking. You got to do the work. We clear? All right. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Thank you so much. You have a blessed day.
You're welcome, sir. And get that job.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, Ms. Tortorella. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
See you next week.
All right. Take care.
You too.
You know, I wouldn't be mad if y'all like start talking about some of these thornier cases that we've had to put off for different reasons because, you know, we got all kinds of various and sundry moving parts. But if y'all, you know, I would not be mad at y'all if y'all wanted to start talking about that stuff, even if you needed me to hop on a quick Zoom to kind of parse some stuff out with you. Not mad at that. All right.
We'll try to
Thank you
make
for
some
the
headway on that.
Yeah.